Hello everyone and welcome one and all to my Synergy Lab. Yes, today I've given in to the powers of darkness, and I've sacrificed what little shreds of my soul remain to he who dwells in the hell depths beneath, for my lab, dedicated to creating the most beautiful, powerful, delicate synergies in all of Isaac. Well, today we're going to have a little bit of a, let's just say, genetic experiment. We're gonna see if we can create some sort of vicious, flying terror that will annihilate all before us. Starting simple with just a few little items, nothing too crazy. We got ourselves a dead dog's body and some what is effectively snot. Because honestly, the synergy we're about to showcase today is very much inspired from two things. Number one, something that we glimpsed ever so briefly a few weeks ago, but it was so divine that I just simply had to do it again. Yes, Maximilian Pegasus loves Synergy Lab. Isaac boy. And then the other one, hey Duke of Flies, was one of you guys was like, I want to see a Booger synergy. A Booger? Is it Booger or Booger? Booger? I actually have no idea which is technically the correct pronunciation, because really, it's not a word you say often now, is it? But yeah, one of you guys was like, I want to see a sticky Booger synergy. And I'm like, I can be all over that, but we can take it a step further, because as I said, the lab has been upgraded once more, yes indeed, and we are going to be embracing the powers of the darkness, but that will come later on, and it will be, yes it will be, a mystery. Oh, a glorious, glorious mystery. Needless to say, we are in for a whole new synergy, a new fantastic way to show the glorious glow, the powerful hope, in a wonderful soy milk way. We need shot speed. We need so much shot speed for this. At least over 4, perhaps even more, or the synergy will be forever no more. The safety pin. Oh, what a thing. I think that's enough for this floor. Let's do the floor. A terrible singing voice you abhor, but I won't stop until you drop and roll in agony on the floor. 'Cause you've pressed X, you've taken tactical damage, and I love it, okay? I love impromptu singing so much, which is sad because I really suck at it. It's kind of like, I think I have a suspicion that when I was younger, or maybe I've just forgotten, I have to have been cursed by a witch at some point, or some sort of mystical entity, you know, cursed with a passion or love for something that you supremely suck at. I mean, it could be worse. You could be sat there with, man, I love parkour, me. I rightly do. I say, I love it. But you end up absolutely sucking at it. So you keep hurting yourself, you break limbs, you really end up in a bad way, but you can't stop yourself from parkouring. Or if you absolutely love cooking, but through a tragic accident, you lost your mouth, so you can't taste anything, you know? A really kinda backwards, nasty curse. And that took a while to kill Little Hon there, but then again, I guess we are soy milking with just a little bit of boogery in there sticking all over him, so really not too great. What's stickier, treacle or toffee? Believe it or not, I've had an argument about this in the past. I mean, I my basis for saying my answer here, and you got to think as well. You got to think as well as we acquire ourselves some more shot speed. Yes, indeed, we're also gonna start ramping up our luck because we do indeed need that too. But look, my basis for this is you kind of want to say treacle because there's the expression "it's like wading through treacle," which means it's hard. It's really resistant. It's a viscous liquid. Alright, it's viscous. I love the word viscous, by the way. But it's a viscous liquid. But the thing is, well, treacle, why do I keep calling it treacle? Like there's 3 films to do with treacle. Because it's like a treacle? No wait, that's sequel, not a trilogy. Sounds nothing like a trilogy. I don't know film terminology. As complicated as sequel. What is wrong with me today? I have no idea. I really don't. But we are defensive. I can't actually speak. I have lost the ability to speak. I know what you're thinking. I never had it. But yeah, treacle is definitely sticky. Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely sticky. But, as we acquire some more lovely luck here, yes, indeed, got to keep that going. I'm hoping to end up at about the 10 to 14 mark, maybe about there, maybe hit that magical 15 for something that we do need later on, because we are, of course, precisely doing this. But, I mean, look at this already. That was quite the splash around the room, wasn't it? We got ourselves quite the little bum. But, we've got to add a little bit of rubber cement here, because we don't want everything to just explode when it hits the wall. We want this kind of nice little splatter zone going on. Then again, nobody ever wants a booger splatter zone. That is just not good. And then we're going to set ourselves a little bit of color to accentuate what's going on here. But I guarantee you won't be able to guess where this is going because it will look very different. But yes, treacle is sticky. Alright? I'm not denying that. But there is a dessert specifically called sticky toffee pudding. Alright? And that is in the name. If the pudding is sticky because of the toffee, then I put it to you. Toffee is the stickier of the 2 liquids. Also, this is something I really love here, because Mum's Contact is not just about the colour. It's not, alright? It's not just about the colour. It's also about the effect, because what happens, look, as they all touch, as everything goes, they just freeze in place, and then the stickening begins, which sounds like a fantastic horror movie, but the stickening begins. They get covered, they get swamped down, they can't move, they keep getting frozen as it darts around the room, and right now, I can't really take it further, but that paralysis effect, almost like a stinger, like some sort of venom, maybe, keep that under your hats, that's all fine. But yeah, if I can rewind it once more ones can rewind. I was close, was that close? I don't know. To the curse talents, what would be your worst curse talent? What is something that you love to do but you suck at? That's what I want to know. What would be the worst one to have? Because I think there really are some terrible ones. Because there's obviously really dangerous ones. But there's obviously really, simple, innocent ones that are just annoying. Like, for example, when you get presented with a shiny wooden floor, what is it that you are duty-bound to do? Of course, the answer... That was a terrible devil deal. Of course, the answer is... run at it and then slide in a sort of angled form as far as you will go. Ain't nobody here, and I don't believe you if you say no, has never seen a smooth, supple floor and thought, you know what? I am gonna slide all over that, and you have thought yourself badass while doing it. Well, that would be a terrible one. If you absolutely loved that, gonna get some more luck and shot speed here. If you absolutely love that, but... you've got absolutely horrible balance, horrible timing, horrible luck. You keep just bashing into things, you've got no spatial awareness. You just keep falling over, and oh my god, I am actually just describing myself. I am the only person I know that falls upstairs. Oh god, I've been cursed twice. At least it's not thrice, I guess. At least it's not thrice. Please, no. Oh, please, no. Oh, God. Alright, so we've got this beaming on and everything, and it splatters around the room. We've seen a lot of that stuff recently, so we're going to start developing this, and for that we need a tiny little bit of electricity here with Jacob's ladder, because electricity is very good for the soul. It makes you feel alive, for a brief second and then makes you feel dead. But brief second of alive is focus here, okay? And this is just going to give a slight little spark in the air and a slight little zap of electricity as we go along. Spoonbender, we're going to get ourselves a little bit of homing because we're kind of go for sentience here. We're trying to achieve something truly special. As I said, biological experiment is happening. This also gives us a really nice purple and red contrasting color scheme, which I think you'll find is absolutely just fabulous, you know, absolutely very, very well designed. And I just realized we have 420 shot speed. Hey, I think, yeah, I think saying way is the appropriate response to that. But yeah, we have some lovely contrasting reds and purples, as now the enemies will start sparking every now and then. They all get completely paralyzed, and then they arc lightning to each other as these beautiful little color balls dance around the room and stick to them. But again, worry ye not, because this is going to end up in a very, very different place from what you are imagining it will do. It really, really is. But be excited, because this is going to be the first for the Synergy Lab, an absolute completely... I love freezing things as you walk into the room, because they get frozen in just weird, squished, deformed forms. Oh, it's great. It's like an actual real-life version of pausing like a show or TV or movie and accidentally getting a really weird face or a really weird expression or a weird moment that has no right to be there and isn't supposed to be there, but obviously you see it because it's paused. Have you ever had that? In fact, for those of you that like play a game while watching TV somewhere else, if you've got 2 monitors or something, have you ever actually had a show paused on your other monitor and then been doing something and not really noticed because you just paused because you had to talk to someone or something, and then you kind of see in the corner of your eye, and by the way, we're wiggle waggling because again, we're trying to achieve a sort of sentience here. We're trying to make an alive creature. We need to keep ramping up our luck for something a little bit later down the line. But yeah, have you ever had that paused and then realized out of the corner of your eye that, hang on a minute, let's get ourselves a little bit more of the meat here. We're going to get ourselves the lovely 3 combo for creating quite the little swarm above us. And what I love about this is it looks like I'm pulling stuff out the air, like I'm almost attracting particles from the atmosphere before launching them. But there's another way to look at it, and I guess the hint is kind of swarmy, isn't it? But again, we're going to end up very differently from what you're seeing here. But I do love the boomerang anti-grav combination, yes indeed. But we really are going for living weapon. We seriously are. I don't know whether to go all the way to 15. I just don't know. I do know that my tears need to stay in the air longer. Like, the longer they stay airborne, the much better this is. And there we go. That is quite the longevity on all of that. And then it's going to swarm around me, and it's going to break apart, and then turn into loads of little tiny ones as it swarms around me again. And oh, it is getting very good. But yeah, out the corner of your eye, you've realized, because you didn't at the time, that you've paused it with a really, really weird expression. And you're now like, oh god, this person is like watching me with a weird look on his face. Because in real life, that'd be like, well, weird as hell, and it would freak you out. Obviously, we're going to take Explosivo, and we want that maximum stickiness. And then, yes, Euthanasia is why we're getting that look ramp up. And honestly, I feel like I kind of should get a little bit more luck. I feel like it's probably better if every shot is either a Booger tier or a Euthanasia shot. I feel like that kind of makes sense. Alright, so the reason that I want this happening, the reason that I want it going on, yeah, I do think I need to take the final one to 15, and then it will either be the Booger tiers or the Euthanasia, and it'll look kind of a lot better, because you'll remember the B synergy, right? But before we get to that, I realize I'm all over the place today, but then again, when am I not? I am like a schizophrenic teleporter, but you've got it paused, and you see this weird expression on the character's face, and you have this kind of, are you looking at me moment, and it just kind of puts you off, like there really is a person just sat there staring at you, pulling a weird face. It happens all the time, and it really freaks me out and distracts me, like straight up, it really does. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I feel like there's something very scary about pausing a TV show at the wrong moment. It could spell doom. But yeah, as we've been seeing right now, it's very, well, not completely similar, but it's along the same veins as when we had the swarm of bees. And that's the key there. That's what I'm creating today, a living insect weapon. Because when I think stuck to you, what my mind instantly goes to is an insect latching onto your skin, suckering into your arm, and then trying to plant its young within you as it sucks out its life force. So what I was thinking, if I was an evil, like, scientist genius, you know, of course I am those things, but let's pretend I'm not. What I would do, in fact, no, we don't need to pretend I am for this situation. So if I am the evil scientist genius that I am, what I would do when I'm doing for a nice, threatening, take over the world weapon, I would create a swarm of powerful, biologically engineered insects that have various different effects. They can implant young upon you and it will burst out of you. They can spark and cause electricity. And then, of course, they can glow. Because it's time for... Oh, and explode, I guess, technically. But I just want lots of stickiness, like sticky feet. But it's time for something new. You see how there's now this lovely faint glow. And then look, that little swarm right there. That's the insect. That is the insect swarm. Imagine the insects are flying off the ground. I'm summoning them to the air in a frenzy around me. But you see this faint, lovely glow around each of them as they spark in the air, fly around me, and then swarm. That glow is what we are going to capitalize on today. It really, really is. We've got these almost radioactive engineered insects. They lightning, they explode, they plant their young in you. And here we go. I have now the power to make it dark. And now here we are in this faint gloom. It shows up just ever so much more as they swarm around me. I can toggle Curse of Darkness on and off. Is that not awesome? So now we have this pure swarm of tiny little biting nibblers that will attach to you and completely try to take you over as their insecty nature burrows and forces their way into your very being, and their young bursts out of you thanks to the euthanasia that we've got going on here. Because if a euthanasia shot stickies to an enemy, then kills them, then it will burst into tears, and it really is like the young hatching and devouring their way out of the host, like good little adorable terrifying mutant insect babies. And is that not awesome? But again, this is not where this is ending. No, indeed. We are going to move a little bit past this. But I like the subtlety of this. The reason I like the subtlety of this is because we are in the darkness, aren't we? And is there not something... A freaking quad shot. Is there not something genuinely just a little bit creepy about being in a really dark room and hearing just the faintest buzz on the air? This hum, almost. And then feeling a tiny light touch on your skin, then more, then more. And you look down, you see this faintly glowing, freakish being on your arm. And it bites, and you feel wriggling inside your skin. You feel a jolt of electricity. You feel it pulsating. Because how I like to imagine the sticky shot here is it's attaching, absorbing the life essence of the enemy, and then exploding with the stolen life force. I think that's a great way. And look, the little bits of toxic splash on the floor, that's when one of the insect swarm is defeated. When it's out of its purpose, it explodes into crap on the floor. Is that not the way to look at it? Is that not the way to go? And the thing I do love about darkness is it just adds that eeriness, as I said. It really, really does. And the thing about it is it makes this synergy really subtle, because, look, I'm not going to lie, you can barely see what's going on. But that really adds the terrifyingness. Everything in this boss rush is being crushed by something that you can't even really see. And I like that a lot. Although, talking about darkness, it does remind me of something that happened at the cinema recently. I say happened recently. It did happen recently, but it also happened every single time I go to the cinema. I don't know what it's like if you're not in England and if you don't go to this particular chain of cinemas, but the one that I go to, predominantly, just before the film starts, you have your usual, don't be a dick, don't have your phone on, don't talk, don't yell. By the way, who needs a warning not to yell in a cinema? Is that something anything you've experienced? Because I can honestly say I've never in my life had anyone be that rude in a cinema. It makes no sense. A proper British gentleman would never stoop so low. Either way, you have that kind of like, please don't mess with your phones, don't break screens and stuff. And look how much it looks different with the lights on. Oh, it literally is just a world of difference. God, I wish I had this kind of power in real life, you know, the ability to just do one simple action and plunge a room into darkness at my command. I'm describing a light switch. I'm describing a light switch. Alright, I'll finish the cinema story in but a second. I want to add just a little bit. As we make it a little bit brighter here, we're going to add the usual glows. And I hate saying the usual glows because I fucking love them. So now look, we've got this going on. That looks fine, but then look at this. In the darkness, is this not glorious? I call it Mutant Firefly Swarm. Which, you know, I realize could be better. We're going to get Spider-Bite just to brighten, whiten it up a little bit. But look at that. The glow of it in the dark. If you saw a swarm of that glowing green, tiny destruction heading towards you, oh, you know you would love it, wouldn't you, you little poppers that got popped? Yes, indeed. Isn't it just great? And occasionally sparking of electricity. Look at it. Oh, is that not wonderful? It really is. But yeah, before the cinema plays, the screen goes completely dark, the room goes completely dark, and then this really deep cinema voice, you know, like a really deep boom. That kind of voice. There's a dude with that voice who goes, boom. Makes you think, doesn't it? A little darkness refines the senses, sharpens the mind. And then he goes on this little like rant about how darkness is good and you shouldn't turn on your phone and you shouldn't talk. Sit back and go on a cinema wonderland ride. I actually think we might need those. Well, we might not need those hats, but I feel like I should take them just in case. I don't want to embarrassingly die in Synergy Lab. And that voice comes on, but I have heard it so much now that I really can recite it word for word. So let's have a little play with this, because I like it. I kind of do, because it makes the swarm more random, more insect-like. I'll use it for a little bit. I imagine a few of you were thinking about the whoop whoop worm. You know, it gives it this more random, erratic notion. But the reason I don't necessarily prefer this is because it kind of implies like I have less control over the swarm, you know? But I don't know, maybe that's just nitpicking at that point. But yeah, I've heard this sort of don't have your cell phone on warning, sorry, mobile phone. Gotta remember where I'm from here. And I've heard it so much I can recite it word for word. And this basically means that whenever it comes on, I feel compelled to do so. You know, when you hear something so often, you memorize it and you just can't help but almost sing along with it, you know, talk along with it as it happens. And the friend that I go to the cinema with absolutely hates it. It really annoys him when I do it, so of course that means I do it more. So, you know, the dude goes boom, and I'm like, boom! Makes you think. A little darkness, doesn't it? Refines the senses, sharpens the mind, and, you know, he's there like, stop, please, God, why? That's all well and good, you know, a little bit of banter. But the last time I went, I started doing it, and I guess I must have been a little bit overzealous, maybe a little bit too loud, and the dude behind me... The dude behind me leaned over, tapped me on the shoulder as I'm reciting it, and just kind of leaned in and went, can you not, please? I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize how loud I was being. The idea, oh my god, Dr. Fetus, this would have been a pretty good one if it was a normal run. The idea that I'm just sat there going, makes you think, a little darkness, doesn't it? And then, oh, sorry, can I help you? Yes, stop. Oh, sorry, apparently it's really triggering for people. So, in a cinema, don't go on about darkness, and holy hell, that absolutely crushed phase 1. And look at that! Did you see like the massive like tiny swarm version? Look at them sticking to the hush, attacking, absorbing the life essence, sucking it out of him, exploding. And then look at that when that happens, all of the tiny little glowingness. Oh, it's so good. Absolutely so goddamn good. I really, really love this one. I think this might be one of my favorite Afterbirth Plus Synergy Labs yet. I just think it is absolutely divine. Yes, just divine. I really really enjoy it. Just that mass of glowing, and then all the little ones attached as well. Like, there's almost different classes of insect in this. But yeah, moral of the story, don't recite a darkness mantra, or you might annoy a random person behind you because they don't like being told about darkness. Also, I've taken way too many hits in this. Maybe I did need those hearts from earlier. God damn. I don't know what it is about darkness refining the senses, but people do not like it. They really, really don't. And the thing is, as well, the voice line that tells you to have your phones on and stuff and all about darkness and goodbye hush, and that was kind of cool, that little surge of light. It changes depending on the age rating of the film. The more mature the film, the more mature the message. So when you go see like a cartoon or animated film that, you know, plenty of kids will go see, it has a much more playful one, and it's like, you in the back, stop picking your nose. You know, a kid there is supposed to be like, oh me, he can see me. But I always feel really bad when that message plays, because I'm like, oh, I'm not meant to be here, am I? Clearly, I am not the target audience for this film. I am either immature, made a mistake, or I guess I just got to accept this. It's, oh Christ, I don't know why I'm here, because, you know, I feel like I'm in a movie just meant for parents and children, and we are absolutely slaughtering through this. I do love swarmy synergies, I really, really do, just because you don't really have to aim, and they just kind of obliterate everything. And I realize I've still got Whoopie Whoopie Worm, but I guess at this point it's fine, right? What do we think the chances of delirium are? Come on, come on, come on. Oh, Brownie, can we not? I do love that the electricity sparks aren't very often, and oh my god, if we get pyro, then we ourselves have a kind of firefly aspect going on to us. That's kind of cool. And Triachnid. Well, at least he's dying to fellow insects, so I guess that's fine, right? Although I guess that doesn't make sense. Why would you take comfort knowing that you got killed by your own species? I don't think there's many humans that get murdered going, oh, you know, it sucks that I'm getting murdered. It does. But at least I'm not being murdered by, like, a tiger or something. And I guess in that respect I can understand, because being murdered by a tiger would suck, because, you know, they just rip out your entrails while you're still alive. But meanwhile, you know, oh, thank God a fellow human killed me. Otherwise, that would have just sucked, you know, that would have just been embarrassing. That would have just been the worst. Where the hell is the delirium? That's what I would like to know. Where is he hiding? Where indeed? Because it's kind of hard to hide him, given that he's so massive. Hey! Alright, here we go. I do wonder how quickly this will kill him. That was quite the little surge of damage there. I like it. Yeah, you better run. Although I've actually only got 3 hearts. If I actually have to use the Yum Heart here, it's going to be pretty embarrassing. It really, really is. Though, then again, he is already nearly dead. Oh, that massive row of light on him. Yes, delirium. You may die as the swarm contains you, envelops you, becomes one with you. Embrace its fierce bite. Try and fight it with all your might, but know that you will die this night. There we go. Alright guys, that is your Synergy Lab. Let me know how you enjoyed it, like if you did, and subscribe for more. Let me know what kind of thing. In fact, you know, definitely name me an item that you would like me to build a synergy around, and see what happens. Because this whole thing came from me just playing around with Booger Tears, which sounds weird again, but still, I think that'd be pretty cool. My name is Rage, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.